the inventor who was never credited. Every device you use today carries a history. Behind every breakthrough, there is a name. And behind some of the most important ideas in modern life, there is none. This is the story of an inventor whose work quietly shaped the world. Without fame, without credit, and almost without a trace. How did one mind change modern life, and yet disappear from history? 1. Innovation without applause. History often celebrates invention as a moment of brilliance, a single name attached to a single breakthrough. But innovation rarely works that way. Most technologies evolve through layers of ideas, built by individuals whose contributions are absorbed, repackaged, and attributed to others. Our story begins not with a household name, but with fragments, patents overlooked, notebooks unpublished, and ideas introduced too early to be understood. The inventor we examine today lived during a period of rapid industrial and technological change, when ideas moved faster than recognition, and credit was often determined by power, timing, and influence rather than originality. 2. The forgotten mind. This inventor was not poor in ideas, but poor in opportunity. Working largely alone, they developed principles that would later become foundational to modern systems, mechanisms, processes, or concepts that now feel ordinary, even inevitable. At the time, however, these ideas were considered impractical, incomplete, or commercially unviable. Lacking institutional support, legal protection, or influential allies, the inventor published little and promoted even less. What survived were traces, technical descriptions, early prototypes, and references buried deep in archives. 3. Ideas ahead of their time. Many forgotten inventors share a common trait. They solve problems that society has not yet recognized. In this case, the inventor proposed solutions to challenges that only became urgent decades later. Efficiency, standardization, automation, systematic thinking. Concepts that now underpin modern infrastructure, manufacturing, communication, or computation. Historians later identified striking similarities between these early ideas and technologies that emerged long after, often credited to others who had better timing, funding, or visibility. 4. Recognition lost to history. Why was this inventor never credited? Experts point to several factors. First, timing. Ideas introduced too early often lack the technological environment needed to succeed. Second, documentation. Without formal publication or strong patent enforcement, ideas can be absorbed into the collective without attribution. Third, power structures. Institutions, corporations, and governments often determine whose work is amplified and whose is forgotten. In some cases, later inventors may not have even known they were building on earlier work. In others, history simply chose a simpler narrative. 5. The impact we still feel today. Despite the lack of recognition, the inventor's influence is undeniable. Core principles they outlined are now embedded in systems we rely on daily, so integrated that their origins are rarely questioned. Transportation networks, industrial processes, digital logic, organizational design. Modern experts reviewing archival material often express surprise at how accurately this inventor anticipated future developments. What once seemed abstract or unnecessary became essential. 6. Multiple perspectives. Some historians argue that credit is less important than progress, that ideas belong to humanity as a whole. Others disagree. They emphasize that recognition matters not only for fairness, but for understanding how innovation truly works. By overlooking contributors, history distorts the process of discovery and reinforces myths of solitary genius. This inventor's story challenges the idea that success and impact are always aligned. 7. What remains unexplained? Much about this inventor remains uncertain. Some documents were lost. Some records were destroyed. Some connections can only be inferred. We do not know how they felt about being overlooked. We do not know whether they realized the long-term significance of their work. What we do know is this: their ideas survived even if their name did not. History remembers results, but not always origins. The modern world is built not only by those we celebrate, but also by those we forget. Behind every familiar technology may stand an invisible mind, one that changed everything without ever being thanked. If this story encouraged reflection, consider liking the video and subscribing to Interesting MindHub, because understanding the present begins by rediscovering the past.